Live from Point Pleasant, New Jersey, and into your own homes, we welcome all you existing business owners and startup entrepreneurs because this is the Business Talkback program with your host, Tony Pezza. Tony has over 45 years of experience, and we are the #1 informational business center for small businesses. So pick up the phone and make your calls at 646-478-4796. Feel free to get advice from Tony. Now here's your host, Mr. Pezza.
Thank you very much, Chris. We appreciate it. And we are live, ladies and gentlemen, on the air. This is the Business Talkback program. We are from Point Pleasant, as you heard. We do have a number of years of experience here, but that's to help you guys out. We are simulcast on Blog Talk Radio and also Google On Air. So if you would like to be part of the program, you can go to Google On Air or Blog Talk Radio. Business Talkback is the name of this program. And what you can do is you just type in a question if you want. When you open up the screen on Google, you go to Q&A, hit that button, and the question box will come up. You can type a question. Or if you want, you can call in live and we can have a conversation. The number here is 646-478-4796. We are live, as I said. We come to you with years of experience in business, small businesses, large businesses. We've been doing it for a number of years. So we are here to help the small business owner. So a lot of people say, what do you do there? So here's what we do here. We do a lot of things, and it's all business related. If you own a business and you would like to know what your business is worth, that's called evaluation. We do that for you. If you're thinking about selling your business, we'll do an analysis of your business. And you want to buy it, we'll do also analysis and evaluation combination. So here's where the problem comes in with most business owners. They really forgot their way or their direction starting a business. I got a call this morning from a woman in Illinois. Her name is Deanne Burley, who's been doing radio for 20 years. She's also a paralegal. We had a long conversation, probably for 25 minutes, about what she does, what we do here. And we got hooked up with her on a local website for people that want to be guests on different radio stations. So she contacted me to be a guest on her radio station, which we're going to do as soon as we make the arrangements. And we talked about businesses and failure rates, and also the program that we have that we're offering as a seminar. Now, talking to Deanne for 25 minutes, who's been doing radio and business programs. She was in the mortgage business. She does radio now. She's been doing it for 20 years. Her dad was in the mortgage business and radio business. So she's familiar with legal terms and marketing and loans and failures. So we really were talking about that in general. Where is this industry going? Why are small business owners falling flat on their face? And so she kind of had a lot of answers that I've been saying, or questions and answers that we got together. And she was very pleased to have someone she could talk to. I could tell by her voice, and she mentioned it also. That made sense. But now, she was a paralegal. She still is. And she's now moving from a local station to a 50,000 watt station, which is like a blaster, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know that blasts. That's what ABC uses, NBC, CBS, 50,000 watts to cover the whole country. And she's going to be moving her local station to a 50,000 watt station under contract. She has a program now with prominent people on. She has a judge on every Thursday that talks about the law. So she wanted to know a little bit about what I do and my background. And so we get around for a few minutes. And I gave her a couple of examples of why I feel that my course is #1 in the country. And once I explained it to her and I gave her a couple examples, she was very pleased to know that And she did agree that because what we're offering, and that is a combination of a business owner getting part of a law education, marketing education, accounting education, insurance. Now, how does this all tie in together? Once we're talking to Deanne, she realized that the program we have is the really very best, is the very best out there, because we don't just talk about business. We bring you into the fold of where you should be in business, and we gave examples to each other. So I did mention a example of a business that I had sold many years ago, and the contract was sent to me, and I'm telling this to Deanne this morning. Contract was sent to me to review, as they always do as a courtesy, and I reviewed it. And then I got back to the attorney, and I says, "You got a miscalculation here." And he said that, well, what the other guy worried about. So now the other guy got it and never got done, the other guy being the other attorney. So now we got a buyer and a seller, we got two attorneys, and so it closed, end the conversation. 2 years later, I get a notice there's a lawsuit going on, that the miscalculation in the payment was off, and so all this had to be redone. At the same time, the fellow who bought the business was suing both attorneys for malpractice because of the information that was false in there and was never corrected. So I was telling her the story, and she's a paralegal, deals with attorneys all the time. She still works as a paralegal, and she knew exactly what I was talking about. And then there was a lawsuit, and there was money had to be repaid back to the seller because the payment was wrong. And then there was malpractice suit against the attorney. So anyway, I had to testify in court. I had all my notes, so I was clear. But it turned out to be a mess. So I explained to her what we do in our courses. We actually have our staff attorney, who will be our staff attorney, not right now, but he will be coming on board, to actually go over what a contract is, what a lease is. We have our insurance people talk about the benefits and the pitfalls of the wrong insurance. We have our marketing people. We have our accountants who come over and give you cost analysis on how to figure costs out. So our program is the very best there is out there for what we do. And we do it very well. We've been doing it for 45 years. And as I said, we've had thousands and thousands of people take our course. So talking to Deanne this morning, I felt very, very comfortable that the program we are offering is really very good. And she agreed, and so with that, we're going to be communicating back and forth with her. She's in Illinois, and we're going to go on her show. She deals with a lot of business owners. We're going to do a presentation to her group. And and when she moves over to the other station, I think in a couple of months, probably in March or April, we will be on her program there also, and then may fly out there and do a live in audio in-studio presentation. We may do that. And so this is why I keep pounding and pounding every day I'm on the air, is that the business program that we have here is very, very good. It's run properly, it's educational, it's informative, and as I said before, we have the only strong guarantee in the country. A friend of mine sent me an email this morning and says, well, this is another site that has a guarantee for 24 months. Well, I said to him, I says, well, does it offer in classroom education ongoing? No. Do they give you ongoing marketing, legal and accounting? Do they do a business analysis? Do they do an evaluation? No, no, no. So again, we're back to, we are number one when it comes to the guaranteed services that we offer. So I want to beat a dead horse on that, but I have to mention, when I talked to Deanne this morning, like I said, I was very pleased to have a conversation with her. And we have another fellow that we contacted me this morning, and he's going to be on the air also. He's another financial guy. We talked to him about basically business in general, and we had the same. We seem to have, at the two conversations I had this morning with two very prominent people that are in business, do business consulting, have a radio show. They are well aware of the failures out there, and I've been talking about this for as long as I can remember. I started this failure business 45 years ago when I started my school, and it's still going on today, and I can't understand why. Why do we need 63% failure? Why do we need foreclosures? If you don't have the damn money and the knowledge and talent to go into business, stay the hell home. Don't be spending your money and aggravating everybody around you for failures. And this really gets under my skin. You know, a lot of things bother me, but that's one of the bugaboos I have, as I call it, that, you know, these uneducated people going into business and then they wonder why they got a problem because they don't want to spend, you know, the money to learn what they're doing wrong. Like I told Ian this morning, I said, you know, figure this way. The average brick and mortar today on a business, 150,000 average. That's what you got to be looking at. By the time you do, you set your equipment in, to put money aside for your rents and your personal living. So 150,000 is being conservative. So let's use that number. They won't spend $5,000, $10,000 to save the 150. But yet they'll go out and move ahead. They'll buy stupid equipment without knowing what they need. They'll sign leases they can't even understand. Even though they'll get a return, they should know what the terms are. Like Deanne told me this morning, she said when she was in the mortgage business for a major company, she was a supervisor there. People would sign loans not knowing what they were signing, even though it was disclosure. They just didn't understand terminology. Now, we're not going to teach every term out there in the mortgage or banking industry or the insurance business. But the point is that once you take my course, you'll have a lot more knowledge then than you are now. But you don't have, basically have no knowledge at all. I throw some example out over the air and I say, call me if you know what a contingency means in the contract. Call me if you know what a right of reentry is in a lease. Call me if you know what a triple net lease means versus a net lease. And these are the terminology that are going to save you tons and tons of dollars and save you a lot of aggravation in your life. So I'm so glad that I got in touch with these people. We're going back and forth, obviously, but they're prominent, educated people who understand the in and outs of contracts and leases and mortgages and what not to sign, what terminology is. I gave a couple examples of, you know, I throw out, like I said before on the air, you know, if you don't know what a balloon payment is, go buy a book on banking terms and know what it means. Because if you go to the bank for a loan, and the banker says, "Well, we'll set this on a balloon payment," you're going to stand there with your mouth open and say, "What the hell is that?" You know, you have to know what you're getting into. So, as dumb as you want to be about terms, you're going to be as dumb as you are in your own business. And I have to say this because I get aggravated every day. And I talk to people and I read the paper and I see what's going on. I write around and I see businesses closing down. When are you going to come to your senses out there? Good God, man, wake up. So we're here. Pick my brain, whatever's left of it anyway. I think I'm losing my mind, Chris.
You're not really.
So, you know, anyway, the number here, folks, is 646-478-4796. 646-478-4796. Give me a call. Talk to me. Tony Pezza, your host. And if you want to say hello to Daniel, he could yell across the room and say hello to you.
Remember, you're the expert, Tony.
Yeah, well, we gotta get these people to understand what they're paying for.
Exactly.
So if you want to see me, talk to me, go to Google On Air. In the toolbar, type in Business Talkback. You'll get the program. There's a type in question if you want. Stuart, if you're listening, if you go there, you got to hit the Q&A. You didn't do that last time. When you open the screen, you go to the left side, you see Q&A, hit that, the box will come up, and you'll be able to type a question. If you want to be live on the air, call your friends and say, I'm going to be on Tony's show, listen. And they can hear you on air on the Google Hangout on air site. Or if you want, you go to Google Blog Talk Radio, that's BLOG, Blog Talk Radio. Same thing in the toolbar, type in Business Talkback. The only difference is that you can hear the show. You can see Google On Air, you can see and hear at the same time. So, little house cleaning we're going to get done right now while you nice owners out there come to your senses and say, oh, let me call that man. I did get a call yesterday, was Tuesday. A fellow called me from Chicago. He heard the program. He saw. I guess he heard and saw the program anyway. We're on Google on Monday. And we do have a loan program, which I'm going to get into. And he called me, he wanted a letter of credit for $100,000. For you guys out there, owners, people in business, you cannot get a letter of credit unless it's a bank. Now let somebody sell you a letter of credit over the air. Mortgage companies, the only letter of credit can be issued from a bank authority. And here's the other thing with letter of credits people don't understand. A letter of credit has to be fully funded for the amount of the letter. Don't think you're going to get a letter of credit for $100,000, you're going to give them $10,000 and catch me later. It doesn't work. Going back to what I said 2 minutes ago, terminology and understanding of loans and debts. That's what you have to do. So if you're a viewer on the program now, Google, on air, Business Talk Back, if you would like to type a question, as I said earlier, when you bring the screen up, you'll see Q&A on the left, hit that, and you get a little box that says ask your audience to submit questions, and they will appear below. And there's a little box, you type a question in. So if you want to do that, we'll take your question. I prefer you call me on the air so we can have a conversation with you, because what happens, conversation make for good listening, they make for good sense, they're sensible, and there's really good communication that way. I'll tell you about the fellow who called me yesterday, who heard the show on Monday, but he couldn't get to a phone. He got the number and called me, and he said, can you give me a letter of credit? I said, no, only from a bank. He was very surprised with that. He'd think everybody could write a letter of credit. Well, a letter of credit is 100% fundable to the amount. Okay? Did you know that, Chris? It's fundable to the amount.
No, not really.
Most
That's
people,
very true.
most people don't.
I believe.
So,
Yeah.
that's how that works. Okay, the other thing is that we are live on Blog Talk Radio. We're live on Google On Air. I am Tony Pezza, your host. We offer business education, and we've been doing it for years. We have a very good, or we have an excellent success rating of over 90%. Find that someplace else and give me a call. Doesn't exist. Just like my guarantee doesn't exist. I told my friend who sent me a guarantee on another site, but it's nowhere near what we do. There's guarantees and there's guarantees. Tony Robbins offered a guarantee in his last show, his last seminar in Florida. He wrote 500 or 600 on his guarantee. If you go to Facebook and you go to discussions and you go to Tony Robbins, Tony Pezza, you'll see my quotes or my rebuttal of his guarantee that is no guarantee. This other article that was sent to me is a better guarantee, but it's nowhere near what we do. They don't have the programs we have, folks. We are the best at what we do, believe me. It's not bragging. Somebody says, you're bragging. No, we're not bragging. If we can do it, it's not bragging. Very simple. Like I told the woman on the phone, Deanne, I said, I'm going to tell you about me, but I don't mean to brag. She said, if you can do it, it's not bragging. It's an old cliche. She didn't make it up. It's old, but it does work, though. So a little housekeeping. We are Business Talk Back, Tony Pezza. Chris Kennedy's executive producer on the other computer.
That's right.
Daniel's doing web pages over there on the other side of the room.
What's up, guys? How are you?
Hey, just yelled hello.
Awesome.
So we got Daniel on the other side doing websites for us. We got new websites coming up, and we're going to talk about the websites that we're offering. So I'll give you a couple of numbers, and then we'll get down to business. The number here is 646-478-4796. The other numbers you can reach me at if you want to, 646-478-4796 is on air. The other number, if you want to talk to me off air, you can give me a call at 732-232-4633, 732-232-4633. That's my cell number. You can catch me off air if you want to do that. If you want to go to some of my sites, you want to go to my guarantee site, you go to www.callintalkradio.info, www.callintalkradio.info, and you'll be able to see the guarantee. You'll see the programs there that you have, and we're putting together 2 other programs. One of them that Daniel's working on right now and that's called Bizzie, B-I-Z-Z-I-E, Quizzy, Q-U-I-Z-Z-I-E-S, Quizzies for quiz, and it all stands for Business Questions and Answers. Very simple. We just dress it up a little bit. You're going to have on there, you're going to have 100 questions that we'll be offering to the listening audience. You have to be a member. We're not going to tell you. But if you want a sample or example of those questions, what you can do is you go to any of the social media, whether it's Facebook or iTunes or Twitter, and you'll see my 5 questions up there. They're very simple. They're designed for the business owner. Give me a call. If you want to go there now, there's 5 questions. Call me and ask me what they mean, and we'll explain it to you. So that's an example of the 100 questions that we'll have on the new website. As I said, it's Bizzie Quizzies, which stands for Business Questions. B-I-Z-Z-I-E, Q-U-I-Z-Z-I-E-S. And you can go there, and you can be able to look at the 100 questions, but you have to remember you got to sign in. So that's part of, that's one of the other programs we have. And if you want to talk about our great guarantee, as I said, you can go into www.callintalkradio.info, which stands for info. The guarantee on here. We also have a loan program that I mentioned before. That's what the fellow called me about a letter of credit for. So we have a loan program. If you're in need of money for your business, for renovation, expansion, inventory, pay off a business debt, go to the same site, www.callintalkradio.info. If you go to the Easy Loan button, there's 2 applications there. You can choose which one you want to work with. One's a little more extensive, but it's more information. That one's $150,000. The other one is 35 and under. So if you go to the one that has the larger application, fill that out, and the professionals will get back to you. We are not direct lenders here. I want to make that very clear. We're only in between go-getters. We help promote the loans. We help promote you and a business owner. Now, should you decide to take one of these loans, should you decide, that's your choice. We're not here to push any loans or not. We're here to help you out. If you need the money, take it. If you don't, don't take it. If you decide to take a loan, please do me a favor and call me here for business information. We have services that we can offer to you. I'm not trying to sell you the none here. I'm just trying to give you a little advice. We have services we can offer you, but we will give you a free analysis of your business at no charge. If you want to move forward after that, that's up to you. There's no obligation, no fees, and no commitment. So if you're going for a loan, make sure that the loan you go for is really what you want, the amount you need, and the education that we can give you to make that loan survive for you. So the site you want for the loan amount is, as I said, www.callintalkradio.info. There's applications there, fill them out. And if you want business advice, we're here at 646-478-4796, folks. That's our number here. So the other day, I got an email from one of those public general emails, I guess, even know who that was from. And they were talking about the amount of post offices that are going to be closing down. Closing down, folks. 56, I think they mentioned. So I'm reading this here, and that's nothing new. We have a congresswoman who's been there forever, now lobbied for her husband, who's a different name, different company, and is awarded this $19 billion of real estate to sell between a 3% and 6% commission. So, you know, we're looking at $1 billion in commission for a senator's husband who has a different name. and the congressmen and women in Washington, senators, congressmen, female, male, I don't care what the hell you are. What gives them the right not to put this out for bid? Why do we have lobbying? And why should somebody in Congress be awarded such a lucrative finding to earn $1 billion to sell post office property that is probably a number one qualified in terms of location? There's really something wrong with the system. I really got to tell you. I read these papers and I see stuff like this going on. I want to jump through a hoop. And I want to get a bat and bash somebody's head in, because this is ridiculous. She's already made tens and millions of dollars as a congresswoman. Who the hell knows how? Now we have her husband, who's been awarded through her lobbying almost $1 billion in commissions. Now, of course, some of that's going to be spread out with brokers, and I understand all that. I've been in the business for many years as a broker. I understand the system. The point is, it shouldn't go to a congresswoman, a congressperson's husband or wife, or break it up into 10 different people, 20 different people. It makes no difference. My point, ladies and gentlemen, is that we are getting so corrupt in Washington. They don't make enough damn money. Now we got $1 billion going to the office of Feinstein's husband, his real estate company. Who knows how many other contracts been awarded to these people, whether it's him or not. There's another case, probably 5 years ago. Nancy Pelosi's husband also is a different name. He was awarded, I think, $28 million in real estate to sell off foreclosure properties. It was a flat $28 million. I believe that's the number. You can go check the records. I might be wrong. Just to sell them off. No commission, a flat rate of $28 million to sell off foreclosures, taken back by the banks, that the bank weren't going to sell them off. He got the right to sell them off, whether through the bank, through lobbyists, whether through Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. I have no idea. The point I'm making out there is that we have enough of this crap. It drives me nuts. Do you realize that every congressman, every congresswoman that goes to Washington goes there almost broke in most cases? After they're there for 2 terms, they're already worth $20 million. Where's the money coming from? Lobbyists, IPOs, side deals. I don't know what's coming from. But it sure is a friggin' mess as far as I'm concerned. And you know, I think that as American public, American people, I think we should stand up and just fight this thing to the end. They have no right to be awarding millions and millions of dollars, almost $1 billion in Feinstein's case, according to the article I read. I could have the numbers wrong, but I think they're pretty accurate. To sell real estate property that taxpayers paid for to the public. Now, the other part of this is another kick in the ass, okay? I believe that money is going to go to the Postal Service, not to the taxpayer. The taxpayer are not going to get any money out of this. And it's not, I don't think it's going to the government. I think it's going to the Postal Service with taxpayers. So we pay the taxes for the post office, according to the article. They're going to sell off this $19 billion, I think it was. $19 billion sold off. That's going to the Postal Service that the taxpayer paid for. And now they're going to wind up losing more money. They've been losing money for forever and ever. I think they lost $133 billion since they're in business, according to the article. I think I have the numbers right. So we have Postal Service that lost $133 billion. We're going to give them $19 billion in sales. Feinstein's husband's going to make probably $1 billion. Of course, husband and wife, different name, corporation gets. I understand all the corporate, all the hidden taxes. There's other fees, there's office fees, you got a broker fee, you got to do a 50-50 split. I know the business, folks. You're not teaching me nothing I don't know. What I'm trying to make is that I think we had enough of this crap. I really do. And this really guides me up a wall, because when are the American people going to sit up and say, enough of this is enough? We can't be doing this anymore. 17 trillion in debt. Now we got this going on. Why don't that money go to the taxpayer? If everybody got $1, they would feel better. $1 to every person, they'll feel better. Why should somebody make $1 billion on taxpayers' money that paid for the post office. So, and then the other thing is that I see that Tennessee on Friday voted down the union for Volkswagen. Ladies and gentlemen, I stand up and clap for those people. They voted 53% to vote out the union. The union never did any business any good. Never, ever, ever. Unless you go back to John L. Sullivan in the coal days, when you had the sweat mines and these poor bastards going down the coal mines and didn't even get a glass of water. That was deserved then. That I applaud. But today, with all the labor laws, you can't work over 40 hours. You got all kind of checks and balances for labor. I'm so glad that Volkswagen kicked their butt and said, get the hell out of my way. It brings it back to another story. When I had the food company, I had a lot of employees. The union came in. I was paying my people more than they were going to pay. They couldn't get in. They cut my tires, burned my trucks, picketed the building. Why? My guys didn't want it because they were making more with me than they were going to make with the union. Now we got Volkswagen. They're making, I think, $28 an hour. The union's not going to pay that. They'll get a reduction in pay probably. I don't know what the numbers are. But who gives them the right to go in and picket places when it's voted down already? Now they're going to go back and try it again. Because it was turned down because the state of Tennessee realized that if they went union, it would affect the whole economy because Volkswagen is #1 over there in labor. They would lay off 50% of the force, send half their vehicles back to Germany to be produced. Why do they have to put up with this crap? They come here to raise, run a business, put people to work, give them benefits, health insurance. I think it's part of dental and health insurance I think we're offering, but I think it's $28 an hour. It might be a little more. Why are we forcing issues on common people that want to go to work? The unions never did a damn thing for anybody except kill the industry, kill whatever job I have. And this is the bottom line, folks. Agree with me or not, think about it, because it is true. Most people just don't realize what it does with businesses. This is a business program. I talk about business all the time. And I say to my listening audience is that there's nothing in this country, and let me rephrase it. Everything in this country affects business, whether it's snow or rain or ice, whether it's the interest rate, whether it's the economy, whether it's bad weather. Every time we have a crisis, something happens with business. You have bad days, people can't go to work. It affects business. You have storms and rains, phone lines are out, computer lines are out. People get hacked like Target did last week or last month. It affects business all the way around. Do we really need more nonsense of the Pelosi's and the Feinsteins and the unions driving businesses out, closing businesses, laying off people because of unions? I can't remember one business that I was involved with union many years ago, running a major company with thousands of employees. I was fighting with unions all the time because they don't know when to give up. And I give them credit for that because once they got you by the throat, they're going to strangle you. You know, you people out there, you really got to get on the ball with this. What happens, you get involved with unions like Volkswagen, they kick their ass out. I am so glad that this happened because they don't deserve to go into and break up the livelihood of people. So business is business, whether you're Volkswagen, whether you're a major bank, whether you're a little store in a corner, everything affects business, folks. Write letters, vote everybody out of their unions. Feinstein, her husband with $1 billion, Pelosi and her husband with $28 million. And who knows, every congressman, every congresswoman out there, Congress or senator, I don't care who the hell you are, get out there and let these people know that you really don't want this anymore. And I'm one voice in a little radio station in Point Pleasant, but I have a voice. And I want it to be heard, whoever's listening. Get off your butts, write letters, make phone calls. Get these people out of the way here. They don't have to earn $1 billion from real estate that's taxpayers paid for. And when it's sold, it's going to the post office that lost $133 billion. Give it back to the to the taxpayers. Everybody gets $1. You feel better about it. As long as it doesn't go to the wrong place. We spend so much money foolishly, we don't need to spend more. So that's my rant for the day, or my tip for the day, whatever you want to call it. But let's do something about it. So anyway, back to what we do here. We are a radio station. We're a business talkback. We do have commercials. We have paid commercials. We have people that we talk to. We assist people in growing their business. We don't tear them down, not like the unions do, not like Feinstein and Pelosi does, make money hand over fist. Don't care about what they do. It's a joke, folks. It's a joke and a half. So, Chris, why don't you give us a little cheer-up music? Maybe give me Larry and Donna.
All right. Here we go.
Creative chocolates. I'm going to have a piece of chocolate after this rant, folks. I got it on the desk over there.
I say that, before we do it, I say that Pelosi and her husband and Feinstein, yes, Feinstein and her husband, they should be put in jail, federal prison.
Well, it's a bid. You can't do that. They didn't break the law. They were awarded a contract they shouldn't have got. That's
well, whoever did that should be put in
well,
jail.
that's Congress and the Senate, so yeah, it doesn't happen that way. So
I wish.
yeah, we can't do that. And so either way,
Well,
we don't want them in. No, we don't want them in jail, but we don't want them to get the awards either. Nobody
we
should
gotta write letters either way.
Yeah, we don't want to earn $1 billion. We don't want them to earn $1 billion off the tax.
Tony, when I get home, I will do that.
Okay, give me a creative chocolate.
Here we go.
Be back in a couple minutes, folks. Get your phones ready. Give me a call here, 646-478-4796.
You good to go? Friends, if you would like to talk with Tony and be a guest on Business Talkback, please email Tony at tony@mysmallbusiness.biz. Again, that email address is tony@mysmallbusiness.biz. Now here's our man, Tony.
Thank you, Chris. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. We did that live. We're in studio here. We do all our programs here live. We do our own recordings and editing also. We don't farm them out. We make our own commercials, and we try to do everything in-house. So if you would like to be a guest, if you own a business, and regardless of what the business is, whether you're a banker, broker, drugstore, trucker, farmer, I don't care. If you're in business and we could be of some assistance to you, and you'd like to be a guest on the show, as Chris said, you can email me at tony@mysmallbusiness.biz, tony@mysmallbusiness.biz, or call me on the air right now. We're live at 646-478-4796. Tell me about your business, and we'll talk business with you. And we'll also give you a confirmation date to the earliest schedule we have. And you can come in studio if you're local. And if you're not local, we can do it over the air, remote, by phone. So we are national. People don't realize that. Blog Talk Radio is a national internet program. We simulcast with Google On Air, also a national live program. So if you want to be on the air, ask a question, whatever you want to do, you can go to both sites. You can go to Google On Air, and you have two ways of asking. You can call in the number, 646-478-4796, or you can go to, when you bring the screen up, you go to Q&A on the left, hit that, and you'll get a little white and blue box, and it says question. You type it in, and we'll answer it for you. You can do that, or you can, as I said, call me on the air, which makes for better radio anyway. And that would be at 646-478-4796. And as Chris says, if you want to be a guest on the air, we'd be glad to put you on. Now, it's better if you have a business, but if you're a director of a company, CEO, president of a local chapter, if you're president of a chamber of commerce, if you're a chairperson for SCORE, that all qualifies. We're not picking and choosing who the people are. If we can help you in whatever you do, whether in business, whether you're a director, or whether you're a chairperson for a major group, even people that work with the both tech schools, if you want to be on the air and promote your school, we can do that for you. So we're very accommodating here. I think we try to give you an interesting program of what we do here and how we can help you out either way. So I did give you a rant. I'm not going to go back over it again, but as I said before, we had enough of this stuff, crap I call it. But we really have to get it under control. How are you going to get under control? I don't know. I told you I'm a little guy here, which nobody's going to listen to anyway. But as a group, one lonely voice by itself becomes, as a group, it's enough to move mountains. So you can do that. That's not a problem. So, okay. One of the other, I did talk about, we are a loan program. We're a loan program. We're a business program, but we do have a loan program for you that will help you in your business. If you want to go to www.callintalkradio.info, you'll be glad to do that, and then go to Easy Loans or Busy Loans, and you'll see the button there on loans. Click on there, and there's two applications. One is for the $35,000. The other one's over 35, $150,000. Unsecured, no collateral. There are rules and regulations on there. You have to be in business for so many years, and you have to have so many dollars in sales. That's required. We are not direct lenders here as a station, or myself as a lender. I used to be a mortgage banker for many years, but I don't do that anymore. So you can go there and you can do that. And if you want to be part of our seminar program, which is the only guarantee in the country that offers what we offer, there's one other guarantee out there. I told you a friend of mine sent it, but it's not even close to what we have. Ours is the best there is, and we're going to keep saying that until somebody proves me wrong. So go there if you want to learn more about the program we have for the 4-day seminar. Again, you go to the same site, 3 W's in the dot, callintalkradio.info, and all the information is there. So one of the other programs I did mention to you, we have several. The new one is the question and answers. And if you're sitting around at your computer, go to any of the social media. That's YouTube and Twitter and Facebook, and you go to Business Talkback, and you'll see a list of 5 questions we put up for an example, that if you're a business owner or you want to start a business, if you go there, call me on any one of the questions, we'll give you the answer. The idea of the question is that once you read the question, you may have the answer, you may not have the answer. You have the answer, God bless you. If you don't have the answer, then give me a call here, and we can talk about the question you have, or if you have another question. So we're going to put the same concept onto the new site. As I said, it would be called Busy, B-I-Z-E-Z-I-E, Quizzy, which is business questions. That would be QUIZZIES.biz when that's up, probably the end of the week, but you can still get the sample of the questions onto any of the social media. Business Talkback, read the questions, give me a call back, and we can have a great discussion on what you think you know or what you like to learn, and we'll accommodate you that way. So we do creative chocolates. We did creative chocolates.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Vincent Gentile, feel free.
Yeah. No. Okay. We're going to tip of the day.
Ah. Okay.
That's another feature that we have here, folks. We're trying to get that program onto a couple of the other local stations that we deal with, and that's called the tip of the day. They did the tip of the day last week on the difference between the mortgage banker, mortgage broker, and business broker and business broker.
That was on WLBM. You're trying to get it to, right?
Well, we're going to send it to them. We don't know whether they're going to accept it or not. We're going to send it to them.
Yes.
Along with all the other local stations all over the country. So we're going to do the tip of the week as an example. We'll do it in 3 segments, so they'll go out to every radio station coast to coast, as many as I can find. We'll send it out through an email with a video attachment. Very simple. So we'll get it all done. But we did the tip of the week last week on business loans. I mean, not business loans, on a mortgage banker, mortgage broker, and business broker, and I explained what the difference is. And they just did a short one before, which is not the tip of the week, but just a conversation of the fellow that called me and wanted a letter of credit. And I did mention, which is what doesn't happen, is that letter of credit must be issued by a bank because the amount of the letter that you're receiving has to be put up in some kind of a cash bond or some collateral. And actually cash more than collateral because they don't want to be chasing the house for a year later, so it's mostly cash up. So if you got $100,000, you got to work with $100,000 and say, okay, I need a letter of credit for this amount. And it's it's mostly done with business transaction. I was in the export business. Letter of credits had to come from, I was shipping all over the world. So I was doing poultry for Egypt or lamb for the Middle East and Ramadan, where we would contract for so many tons of lamb or chicken, which what I did. I was in the meat business, and so I had access to. And then I created the export business that we went all over the world with the exports, islands, and military bases. I was exporting food out there. Anyway, so even when you're dealing with the states or the countries, a letter of credit has to be issued to you. So it came through. I was dealing with a New York bank, so it came from the bank in Egypt. At the time, was Egypt to a Manhattan bank in my account. Once the letter of credit came in with a bid bond, a performance bond, that's another whole conversation of the bond. Then what happens is that that money has to be upfront paid to cover the letter of credit. So when I shipped, once it got to port and the papers were signed, arrived, affected, money was released. Of course, it's always a problem there because one time I had probably $300,000 worth of poultry hung up on a ship. It was in a frozen compartment, and I had to fly over there to get it released. And sometimes, as Gloria says, it sounds, it's a real pain in the butt. When it doesn't go smooth, and that's one of the times we had a problem. But that was with the port. That was with the people at the port, not the people who wrote the letter of credit. So either way, that's what happens with that. So let me give you the tip of the day that we try to do when we're on the air, and that is if you're doing a cost analysis on your product. So let's say, for instance, you're in any business, I don't care what it is, you can pick a business, there's thousands out there. So I like to use restaurants and coffee shops because most people visit those every day. You know, you're not traveling every day, you're not driving a truck every day, you're not you're not getting a delivery every day. So you try to work with common denominators, like where you go every day. You go to a gift shop every day, you don't buy a pair of shoes every day. So we use the local businesses, which are restaurant, coffee shops, convenience stores, because they're local and people use them every day, more than once a day. Where you have, we have other businesses you only visit once in a while. So let's go back to the business tip of the day for business. Let's say, for instance, you have a business that's not cutting a profit. So what are you going to do? I tell a story about accountants that raise prices all the time. I did a seminar for them. The first thing they say is, yes, we raise the prices because that's what they do. I do it the other way. Go and do an analysis of what this individual's problem is. Is his profit not being made because he's selling the wrong product? Is his profit not being made because of his purchase price? Is he buying it wholesale at the wrong price? So the first thing you want to do is you want to go check your wholesale price and see what you have on a wholesale on a wholesale level. If your wholesale price is fine, compare with other people. You have to do your little homework there. You know, I mean, you call the vendor and you say, "Listen, you're charging me X dollars a pound for this. Is that the right price?" You're going to say, "Of course, it's the right price." So what you want to do is you want to be able to shop around other suppliers with the same product, same quality, and see what you have there. So let's say that you're retail again, and making a profit, and you don't want to raise your prices. So first thing you do is you go to your vendor and find out if you can get a lower price. Don't reduce the quality. Don't ever reduce the quality of a product. You want to get a lower price if you can. If not, shop around somewhere else and get a better price for the same quality. Also, you want to find out is that what are the delivery schedules? If you're getting delivery 4 days a week and you're open 7 days a week, and the other guy is going to charge you 10 cents a pound less, and he's only going to deliver twice a week, that's a problem. So you have to compare the price you're buying it, the quality you're buying it, and delivery days, and the terms. That's another trick of the day here, okay? You can get all of this under one vendor if you negotiate the deal. You can get the right price, you can get the quality, you get delivery days, and you can get terms. So if you're doing that and you want to go somewhere else, make sure you're matching item for item for item. Now, if you can sacrifice one for the other, let's say that you don't need delivery 4 days a week, you can get 3 days a week. Well, that's okay. But you can't go down to 2 days a week. Find out what the lead time is to get a product in. Let's say you're at a product on Friday. Can you get a delivery Friday night or Saturday morning? Important. So the tip I'm giving you is that if you're not cutting a profit, check your wholesale price first. Check your delivery schedule, check your quality, check your terms. Now, if that's okay, then what you have to do is, without raising your prices, you want to do a cost analysis of that ingredient or that product. Let's say, for instance, let's simplify it. Let's say you're doing ham and eggs, comes with French fries. That's what places do for lunch. You get a ham and egg sandwich, or you get an egg salad sandwich, you have French fries with it, and maybe a drink. So now you want to evaluate all those items, what your cost is on all of them. The drink is the cheapest item you have there. You may want to think about reducing, not the drink, but instead of giving it away, maybe you charge a few pennies for it. Throw the drink in with the meal itself. So if you're getting $2.95 for the whole package, without the drink, you can throw in a drink that's worth $1.50, or maybe for $3.10 or $2.10. You raise it up for 20 cents because the drink is only pennies on the syrup. So there's different things you can do, but you have to do your evaluation per item. Now, you can't raise prices across the board on every item you sell. Let's say you have a menu that has 50 items on it. You're going to raise everything $2, $3. That's what everybody does. You have to do what I call balance of product, what means that what are your best sellers, what's your profit on the best sellers, and how can you get that profit related to your other items. So let's say that your biggest leader is A. Let's call it ham and eggs, or egg salad with French fries, or something like that. That's your biggest leader. That's giving you it's giving you a 65% profit, because your food could run about 30-35%. So maybe you want to say, okay, well, I'm doing a lot of that. That might be 40% of my business. That's too much. Where you have another item that's only 5% of your business giving you 75%. So you want to bring that forward. You reduce that price and bring it forward, and then you do what I call light combination of items. So you take one item, add it to another, bring the lowest percentage, the highest percentage you have that has the least amount of sales, you bring that up to the front. Now what happens is now you start moving. Instead of 40% from one item at 65%, you're going to bring another item that's giving you another 40% or 30%. Instead of 70%, you're doing it at 65 again. Now what does that do for you? Your percentages change, but here's where owners get messed up. The percentage may change, but your dollar income is greater. That's balance of product, folks, and that's how you do it. So if you have any question on that, give me a call. That's the tip of the day. Give me a call here at 646-478-4796, 646-478-4796. Tip of the day, balance of product. Don't raise your prices. Cost analysis. Move your highest percentage that has the least sales, move it to the front. And now what happens, what that does, that gives you more dollars coming in the door. Remember one thing, percentages never pay the bill. Only pennies and dollars do so. We're going to take another break, folks, because we do have an obligation to our anyway, we're coming up on 1 hour of broadcasting here. So we appreciate you listening. And if you like to be on the air with us on Friday, we'll be here at 2 o'clock, 2 to 3. This is Business Talk Back. And we're going to dispense with our music that we usually play, which is not true. We have to get the rights from iTunes to play it on the air. They haven't notified us yet. So what we do on a broadcast, we do say, ladies and gentlemen, have a good day. Drive safe, be careful, and take care of your family. And because that's all you have in this world is your family. So take care of them. We'll see you on Friday at 2 o'clock. Have a good day. Thank you very much for listening.